Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 14. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report, where once again we are back after a week where we didn't have time due to health reasons here to give you all the data and the information of all our EAs. Now, last time we actually discussed the Daily Scalper, and that particular EA is the one that actually eating off slowly but surely the markets, especially the Forex markets in here. We are producing somewhere around 5 or 6% per month, and then at the same time we are getting incredibly low drawdowns. So this particular EA is working great. We went through some testing. Now we have the real EA. And together with the rest of our EAs in this video, we're going to show you exactly how well we have done. But we're going to do it for the entire month of March here instead. You can, of course, always go also on the website for the High-Tech Investment, where we are showing some of the details in here. So we have to get it started, but we also have to show you exactly how it has developed from the Daily Scalper. We started off with about 18, 20. 22, then it was 32, and now in this particular video here we are ready to show you 40 accounts that is actually trading and how well they are going. You can compare all of this through the video with the other EAs that we have, and then you'll see which ones are the ones to your liking. We also have to go through Alex and Expert4x because he's been very busy due to the Forex scalper in here. There is good opportunities for prop trading, so FTMO trading, whatever you want to call it in here, because the drawdown is so low and very much under control, even though the percentage that we are getting out of this EA might be a bit below what all the other EAs actually creates, but it's also a matter of keeping drawdowns in check. And of course, copy link service, this also is about to change, especially because of the Daily Scalper in here. There will be a second option that I'm going to talk to you, not in this particular video here, but one of my future videos, but we still have plenty of links that you can link up to. So let's get into it. Let's see how the month of March went. Now, it's always good when we have a look at an entire month, because again, here it'll tell you exactly how the Wave Liberator is doing. The top 5 EAs for the month is Great British Pounds USD, actually coming in at $208 or 20.8%. So extremely good, and also shows that some of the adjustments that we did now more than 6 months ago, after they have been in drawdown coming out of it, they are actually working. So we have increased some of the profits, and then also making sure that the drawdown is still very much under control. New Zealand CAD coming 100 at $55 or 15.5, so it's very good numbers. Even the lower ones, the US Japanese at 9.8% and the Euro USD $96, 9.6% is well above where we want to be. So that is also good. As we said, normally 8% is good. So anything over and an average of 13.3 is certainly showing that that's the case. Again, nice positive graph. Look at the closed profits, 52,000. Floating profit of loss has stabilized, 22,000. So we are well within a nice plus. Monthly returns has actually gone up here lately to, instead of 8%, about 9%. And this is because, again, it's on $10,000 accounts. We are trading like it's $1,000. So remove the 0. 2% weekly return still, trade win of 68%, profit factor almost 2, and now more than 100,000 pips has been taken in the past 958 days. So it's looking really good for this EA. I like it. It's stable. It's very simple to set up. And in this particular month of March, 1,406 was actually created. It's a lot better than the past couple of months. We have to go all the way back to the month of June in order to see something better. So that is really good to see. It is moving forward on the Wave Liberator. When it comes to the RSI Liberator, also here, March was a good month. Great British Pounds USD coming in as high as $262 or 26.2%. So that is massive, especially when you consider, again, overbought, oversold. And we normally have a bit of a delay on those items in here versus the rest of the EAs we have. But even EuroCAD, $171, 17.1%. And the lower ones, the US Swiss francs, coming in at only $77 or 7.8%, is still exactly on the mark where we want to be. But overall, that particular portfolio just for this 1 month made $718 or 14.4%. So that's what we like about the RSI Liberator. It has the floating profit and loss very much under control, less than 22,000. We have closed profits of more than 35,000, so that's good. And then monthly returns is a bit lower than the Wave Liberator, still around 7% when you calculate it on $1,000 accounts. 2% on the weekly returns. Trade wins are good with 66%. And we have around 63,000 pips taken also for this EA, where we have now a history of 727 days in here. And the graph and the money looks like this. For the month of March, $1,367 was taken, a lot better than February. But January was a good month for this particular EA. But overall, when you look back over the month and even over the years, you can see that this is a good month to cash in. Hedged EA for the month of March, also here looks pretty good. Euro AUD coming in even higher, $153, 15.3%, and then Aussie Swiss francs follows with $144, 14.4%. And at the lower part, you will have two Aussie. One is with CAD, $108, 10.8%, and the Aussie USD, $91 or 9.1%. So all of them above our expectations. And the portfolio created $609 or 12.2%. So all of it is very much peachy green. And if we have a look at the graph itself, we can see that this particular EA, as I mentioned, April last year, and we again had some changes also due to some of the political turmoil in the world. And we still have floating profit or loss that is higher because we got them started at the wrong time. But anyway, they are still very much alive. Monthly returns is 7%, so similar to the RSI. We have pips of more than 38,000, and trades per day is around 9.3 with 441 days of profits. Again, up here looks good. And for the month of March, we have $1,021, which is a bit low what we've seen in January and February. But still, it actually shows compared to what you had here back in May all the way up to December that this has been back on the right way of producing a bit of money. Now, silver blew up, and on which one? Well, this is actually the Daily Scalper that we have. And I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we have 40 accounts now. Now, this is not a new account that blew up. It's actually an old silver account, and it took a bit of profit away. It is the best producing one. Now, we couldn't find any new settings straight off the bat on the silver one because obviously it works different than what we see on the rest of the Forex market. We are testing gold, we are testing silver. Gold is a bit easier to actually work with. Silver one, it looks okay, but we knew it was dangerous, and before we could change it this particular weekend here, then it blew up on us. So anyway, we have 40 accounts, and out of that, one actually blew up. And the fact is that we already knew about it. We knew the settings was not exactly safe, but we now have come up with hopefully something a bit better. We are not 100% there yet, but obviously that is why we are testing everything on demo accounts. And from there on, only the best ones actually reach the real live money. So before we had more than monthly returns of over 6% in here. Obviously that particular one dropped. But when we went into the weekend, we had a floating profit or loss of minus 656. That actually rose. And that is again, every single Friday, we'll see that. We have a higher close profits already. So just within a couple of weeks, we are actually in green, 1,535. So that was the state of everything here. By Friday, we could see that also in just the 40 days or so, we have taken more than 5,000 pips, and trade wins are nice and high with 71%. So that's really good. But here is the new one. So we added a new silver account, different settings, and then we're going to have a go again. So this was from this morning. We have a balance now of more than 42,000. So that means, again, we are only chipping away at the market with these 5 or 6% that we talked about. And it's gone from 40 to 42,000. And again, floating profit of loss this morning, as it will come out of the weekend, was minus 513. So again, this is about 1.5%. So extremely small numbers, and 1.5% against 40,000, not 42. We are measuring the original one, so we are also very, very good there. And then we can see total returns now calculated at 5.8. Monthly returns after we lost the silver one has just backed down to 5.6. But last week was also an extremely slow week for this particular EA overall, and many of our other EAs also was a bit low where we were supposed to be. But again, trade win still 71%. Trades per day, you can see there's quite a few still, 22. But when you then compare it with 40 accounts, well, there's not much action overall. But history here, we have now 46 days, but there was a few days in the beginning during testing where we didn't actually do anything. Now I also put in the weeks, and you can see the weeks have been going quite well. We started with the back testing and some of the initial testing here with just a few EAs, made 200, and then the next week it was a bit less. But then after that, it's been moving forward, and obviously now the more EAs we have, the more money we should be able to create here also. And so that is the top for the past week, 386, so that's good. And then when we look at it in a monthly perspective, because we don't have much data at the moment, February we made a bit of money, the 221, so we only started there. And then for the month of March, 1013. And already now, as you can see in April here, for the first few days, we are already up 300, so we're expecting a lot more profit in the future. And then we go to the grid trading for the month of March in here. That one was also a good month for that one, except we have to give some of the profits back. And that's, again, doesn't reflect on this particular one. It reflects on the drawdown I'm going to show you in a minute. But Great British Pounds New Zealand came in at a staggering $331. 33.9%, Euro USD $219 or 21.9%, and even the bottom ones in these portfolio, the Aussie Swiss francs and the Aussie CAD, both created $122, 12.4%, so extremely good month for this EA. $1,016 was created by the 5 together, and 20.3% was actually the return. As I said, when you look at the graph, you can see that sometimes it actually goes down. Doesn't mean that it's losing. It means that it's basically going back into zero. You have a big one here, and you can see you have a few here again that looks actually like it's giving some of the money back. It's losing, but the fact is it actually created it in between here and up here, and it's basically closing what used to be in drawdown, which again looks like a loss. But at the end of the day, it is good for the accounts. You can see floating profit of loss, minus 7,900. So it actually come down from about 9,000. So a lot of this has been closed off. And then the grid trader starts all over again. Monthly returns for the month is 4.3. So again, this is also low. But you can see you have some floating profit or loss, not more than the closed profit, which is actually nice. Weekly returns is around 1%, and then trade wins on this particular one is normally quite high, 73.6, with more than 54,000 pips taken, trades per day 14, and a history almost of 1 year now, 354 days. And that again creates some decent numbers. I just mentioned in here that we had to give a lot of this back for the month, as you can see up here. And that meant that for the entire month, it was only $83. And it's some of the numbers that we got from previously here, and also some of the numbers when we had it in drawdown that has been given back. Several accounts have basically closed off, but instead of closing off in $700 as it looked when it cashed in, it might only have cashed in by $40 at the end. Close all the open trades, and then it starts again. The lucky trader is a bit different, and that particular one also seems to have done well. So Great British Pounds CAD, $154, 15.4%. And then we have Aussie USD, $116, 11.6%. And at the bottom here, still at a high level, Euro Swiss francs, $84, 8.4%, and Aussie CAD, $33, 8.3%, giving the entire portfolio $548 or 11% for the month of March. When we have a look at the numbers again, we can finally see that floating profit or loss versus closed profits is very close to shifting over. So let's see if that not happen in the next month. Overall, we still have every account in here, and we had 16 accounts set up on $10,000, but we are trading like if it's a 1,001. So monthly returns is 8%, 2% weekly returns. You can see again, the numbers are very, very similar all the way through for these Liberator version EAs. Trade wins are 68%. Pips almost 50,000 now. Trades per day is 10, so not too many. And then we have a history of 519 days. And again, these are producing $890 for the month of March, which is obviously slightly better than February, but far off from the January one that actually sticks out like a sore thumb. And you have to go all the way back to April 2025 to see anything even higher. Now, I mentioned the day trader that has certainly sort of started Alex with a range of videos, and this is again how you can become a prop trader. One of the things that are in here is you can actually get this particular Excel from him, and then you can basically translate it into this particular prop firming strategy calculator, because you might be running on 1,000 or 10,000 account. You have to change that into maybe 100,000 one, and then you have to have a look both at the trading, you have to look at the trading times, you have to look at the maximum drawdown you had during that period, the lot size you actually used, and then in the step 3 you will then adjust it to make sure that you get to the right level. You can see here calculated monthly income based on what you actually had in step 1, and then it will tell you if this particular signal that you are wanting to introduce is going to give you any money or not. So it's a very good video. Please go and see it. We also have links to all Alex's videos in the description below. The next part here is the copy winning trades, and there's a new option also for the copy link service in the future that Alex is discussing, and that is again because and driven by the Daily Scalper. So because it's taking only small parts of the market in here, but even the lucky trader, he has a few links there. And then last but not least, US broker compliant. Again, we are talking about the Daily Scalper, and there's just one setting on the EA itself that you have to change, and then it will be US broker compliant. So Alex is telling you all about that. So that is the pruning function. You simply take that one out, and then even people trading out of the US should be compliant. Don't forget, we have the copy link service still. There is still some links in here. We have to shake the bag at some point and then add them in. But this particular Excel is not going to show the Daily Scalper. That is actually through another broker in the future. We will see exactly when we will add hours in here, because there is some changes that has to be done versus exactly what you see here. But that is for the future. Right now we are focusing on getting the best and the brightest results out of the Daily Scalper. Use it for our own terms, trying to set it up also on the prop firms in the future to see exactly if you can do the same thing. And obviously from there on, it is just grab the EA and then start printing your own money. So this is what we had in this week's news report. As you can see, for the month of March, all our EAs is doing extremely well as usual. We have seen both ups and downs in the drawdown for these particular EAs, but the one that has our focus and attention here at the moment is the Daily Scalper. We can see that even though it's only eating small portions of the market, like 5 and 6%, the drawdown is very much under control. Very few open trades in here, and of course they can be closed down in a couple of hours and sometimes in a couple of days versus what we have seen with the other EAs that we are working with. You can of course also combine the two. We have even tried that, and that has worked very well. We have worked with the free margin, put in the Daily Scalper in here, and then recreating some extra capital in here over time that is only sitting around and doing nothing anyway. when some of the other EAs are in drawdown. There's plenty of opportunities. We are now focused on the FTMO and the prop firm companies, also trying to see exactly what we can get out of it. Is it actually worth it? So make sure that you follow this video in the future and you will see exactly our results coming from here. So until then, I hope to see you on one of my other videos. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.